Thinking that the Usyk-Dubois fight still happens even though that fight's been ordered?
Yeah, and nobody knows what's going to... Well, nobody knows. There's rumours flying around that they're talking to each other to try and make that fight with Dubois and Usyk, but our preference is to fight Usyk, and we commend Gustavo at the WBO for ordering this fight, because I think Joe deserves the fight. Joe deserves the fight.
Andy Lee isn't holding back. The fight between Joseph Parker and Oleksandr Usyk is happening, and there's no escaping it. The WBO has officially ordered Usyk to face Parker within 30 days, meaning the undisputed champion is now backed into a corner. Andy Lee has made it clear that Parker deserves this shot, and there's no more room for excuses. Whispers about Usyk negotiating with others are meaningless. The champ has been put on notice, and now the world is watching. Will Usyk step up and prove he's the best, or will he find a way out? Parker has torn through every challenge, leaving destruction in his path, and now he's standing on the edge of greatness. The heavyweight division is on fire, and this fight will shake the sport to its core. The countdown has begun, 30 days to decide everything. Will Usyk accept the challenge, or will Parker be left chasing?
I'm sure he'll want to defend his belts, and I'm sure he'll want to fight Joe. But well, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. They have how many days to enter negotiations? There's not been any of that. I haven't heard anything about that yet. But Joe's got a great manager in David Higgins. He's also got Spencer Brown on his team, so they will be fighting for his side.
Andy didn't hold back when addressing the shifting dynamics of the heavyweight division after the WBO ordered Oleksandr Usyk to defend his title. The spotlight was supposed to be on Usyk versus Dubois, but now it's all about Usyk versus Joseph Parker. The battle for supremacy is getting messy, and Lee's commentary only added fuel to the fire. Meanwhile, Parker and his team, including the experienced David Higgins and Spencer Brown, made it clear that Usyk and Parker must face off. They've raised the stakes and demanded the fight, questioning why Parker hasn't been given his rightful shot. On the other hand, Usyk is left to decide if he'll continue his dominance or be forced to confront Parker. With negotiations at a standstill, boxing politics are once again taking center stage. With so much on the line, will Parker finally get his moment, or?
We are hearing rumours that you're all in talks. What will happen to Daniel Dubois and Joseph Parker in the next 4 or 5 months, in your view?
Well, I think they're going to be involved in some massive fights.
But with who?
With opponents.
I know you're not going. Listen, on Thursday, you said by the evening you'd tell us who Moses Talma was going to fight. Can you tell us now?
He will be on the card.
And which card?
On the Manchester card.
On April the 5th.
In a tense exchange with Gareth A. Davis, Frank Warren didn't hold back, offering a glimpse into the high-stakes world of the heavyweight division. Rumors are swirling that Daniel Dubois and Joseph Parker are heading toward massive showdowns, but Warren remained tight-lipped on the specifics, leaving fans and pundits guessing. However, it's clear that both fighters are lined up for some of the biggest and most anticipated battles of their careers in the coming months. The real question, though, is who they'll face. This mystery only adds to the suspense. Moreover, Warren didn't waste time addressing the Manchester card set for April 5th, confirming that Moss Tomer would be featured, but keeping the rest of the card shrouded in secrecy. The anticipation is building, and it's clear that the heavyweight division is about to experience some seismic shifts. With every move, the stakes rise. Who will step up next in the fight for dominance?
Oleksandr Usyk versus Joseph Parker mandatory fight is ordered by the WBO. The World Boxing Organization's president has revealed that his organization is now ordering their world champion Oleksandr Usyk to make a mandatory defense against interim champion Joseph Parker. WBO is officially ordering the enforcement of the WBO mandatory between Usyk and Parker. This is to essentially terminate the status of interim champion. This action aligns with our firm policy of maintaining only one champion per weight class.
The heavyweight division is about to explode as the WBO has officially ordered Oleksandr Usyk to defend his title against Joseph Parker, and the drama is unfolding. The WBO president has confirmed that the world champion Usyk will be forced to face interim champion Parker in a mandatory defense, effectively stripping Parker of his interim status. This move is part of the WBO's clear policy to maintain one champion per weight class, eliminating any confusion. The implications are huge. Parker, who has been waiting for his moment, now has the opportunity to challenge for the world title he's long deserved. On the other hand, Usyk, having reigned supreme in the heavyweight division, will need to prove his dominance once again. This fight promises to be an electrifying clash, and the stakes couldn't be higher for both fighters. It's a matchup that's sure to captivate the boxing world. Who will emerge victorious in this monumental showdown?
WBO have given Usyk and Parker 30 days to reach an agreement before purse bids are called. Earlier today, Sky Sports reported that Usyk's team begun discussions for a potential unification clash with IBF champion Dubois. The recent order by the WBO has certainly created a hurdle for a potential matchup. Both Parker and Dubois are promoted by Frank Warren.
The pressure is mounting in the heavyweight division as the WBO has given Oleksandr Usyk and Joseph Parker just 30 days to reach an agreement before purse bids are called. Meanwhile, rumors are swirling about a potential unification fight between Usyk and IBF champion Daniel Dubois, but the WBO's recent mandate has complicated those plans. Usyk, eyeing bigger matchups, now faces the reality of fulfilling his mandatory defense against Parker, a fighter who's hungry for the world title he believes is rightfully his. On the other hand, both Parker and Dubois are promoted by Frank Warren's Queensberry Promotions, adding another layer of intrigue to the situation. This could be a game changer, as negotiations are expected to be intense and highly competitive. Will Usyk honor his mandatory defense, or will the prospect of unification with Dubois take precedence? The clock is ticking, and boxing fans are on edge.
Dubois that pulled out of the fight, not Joseph Parker. It was Daniel Dubois that put himself out of line for it. So why would Daniel Dubois be awarded a direct crack of Usyk when he pulled out the fight? So the right person to get the crack should be Joseph Parker. Why not? He was the one that turned up to fight. He fought, got the job done.
Johnny Nelson didn't hold back when discussing the heavyweight situation, pointing out the glaring issue with how things were unfolding. He made it clear that it was Daniel Dubois, not Joseph Parker, who pulled out of the fight. So why is Dubois being handed another chance at Usyk after backing out? Nelson argued that the right fighter to challenge Usyk should be Parker, the one who showed up and delivered when it mattered. Parker didn't back out. He got the job done. Meanwhile, the decision to give Dubois another shot raised serious questions about whether fairness was truly the priority. If it were, Parker would be the one facing Usyk, not someone who already backed out when the pressure was on. The bigger question remains, will boxing's politics continue to favor those who take the easy route, rather than the fighters who show real heart and commitment?
The way that you were wording that then insinuates that you believe that Oleksandr Usyk is going to give up that belt and therefore Joseph Parker will be upgraded from interim champion.
My understanding is that he may do that, but he may choose Joseph Parker. He's got the option to choose Joseph Parker over Daniel Dubois as well. That's the option it gives him. And there are talks going on, I understand.
On the other hand, Adam Cattell didn't hold back when analyzing Oleksandr Usyk's next move, dropping a bombshell that immediately rattled the boxing world. He suggested that Usyk could very well vacate his title, clearing the way for Joseph Parker to be upgraded from interim champion. This wasn't just idle speculation. Cattell made it clear that Usyk could choose to relinquish the belt, and if that happened, Parker would be the obvious contender to step in. Meanwhile, Usyk could still opt to face Daniel Dubois, but Cattell hinted that Parker might be the one in the driver's seat. Talks are already underway, and the heavyweight scene is on the brink of a massive shakeup. The question now is whether this is Parker's time to rise, or if Usyk will maintain control and put all challengers in their place. Either way, the heavyweight division is in for a thrilling ride. Could this be the breakthrough Parker's been waiting for, or will Usyk stay at the top to settle the score once and for all?
What I felt about him, and I felt that, and I felt that Martin, who very bravely took the fight at short notice. Obviously got well paid, but it was Joe's night, and Joe took the fight and that opportunity in style and delivered in the big.
Moreover, Frank Warren didn't hold back in his praise for Joseph Parker's dominating performance. While he acknowledged Martin B. Cole's courage for stepping in on short notice, there was no question that the night belonged to Parker. He didn't just win, he obliterated Cole, taking charge of the fight with absolute authority and once again proving why he belongs among the heavyweight elite. Warren witnessed Parker's flawless execution firsthand, outclassing a dangerous opponent and making a bold statement when it mattered most. With this kind of display, Parker has launched himself squarely into the world title conversation, demanding recognition from the division's biggest names. Meanwhile, the heavyweight landscape is in turmoil, with belts potentially vacated and champions facing difficult decisions. With his momentum at an all-time high, Parker is in the perfect position to challenge for a world title, whether it's a shot at a vacant belt or a mandatory position. One thing is undeniable: Parker is knocking on the door, and it's only a matter of time before he bursts through.
I can see that fight happening. However, though, if it's going to go down like that, my counterpunch would be either Joseph Parker has the fight for that vacant title of the WBA. It should be just given to him, because I think he would rather fight for it anyway. I think he should fight for that WBA title. I think if he wins that title, he'll become the WBA champ.
Joseph Parker is standing on the edge of heavyweight greatness, and if boxing still holds any sense of fairness, he should be the next WBA champion. Why wait any longer to give him the title? Parker has more than earned this shot, and crowning him isn't a gift. It's a rightful coronation. He has torn through elite competition, dismantling fighters that most wouldn't dare face. The man is a force, and this is the moment he's worked tirelessly for. If Parker gets his hands on that belt, he won't just hold it, he'll dominate with it. He has the power, the technique, and the mindset to take over the division. What boxing needs right now are true champions, not political games that keep deserving fighters sidelined. The fact that there's even a debate about Parker earning this shot is laughable. He's faced the toughest opponents, put in the work, and now it's his turn to stand at the top. If Parker takes the WBA title, it won't just be a victory. It will be a statement that shakes the division to its core. The heavyweight world will have no choice but to acknowledge his undeniable strength.
Joseph Parker, in the immediate aftermath, called out Oleksandr Usyk, and for me personally, if ever there was a guy who deserves a world title shot, if ever there was a guy who deserved a crack at Oleksandr Usyk, even though Daniel Dubois is a champion, for me, it's got to be Joseph Parker.
Meanwhile, Joseph Parker has done more than enough to earn his shot at the world title. After a brutal victory, he has made it loud and clear that he's not just ready, but eager to take on the toughest challenge, putting Oleksandr Usyk directly in his sights. The question is, who deserves it more? Parker destroyed Martin Boy, a fighter most heavyweights would hesitate to face, and did so in a way that left no doubt about his elite status. On the other hand, the same tired politics continue, to push other names to the forefront, completely ignoring the fact that Parker has proven himself by going toe-to-toe with top-tier opponents. Daniel Dubois may hold a belt, but when it comes to facing the elite, Parker is in an entirely different class. Now, the burning question is whether boxing will reward the rightful contender or let politics steal what Parker has clearly earned. Is he truly capable of dethroning Usyk, or will the clash of styles expose his limits? Drop your thoughts below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more intense boxing updates.